your Bible and grab your smokes. News and weather, music and jokes. See on the porch in my favorite house coat, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. She's a feral Christian out in the wild, the cigarette mom with a queen bee style, talking or singing about somebody you know. It's the Sarah Beth Terry, the Sarah Beth Terry, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not.
Good evening. The dishes are done. The kids are in the bathtub. I'm speaking from everybody else's experience, as neither of those things are happening in my house right now. Nay. The 9:30 hours upon us, friends. Today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Welcome to the porch. I don't feel good. I'm trying to get out of it, but I still don't feel good. Feels like I've had bad sinus drainage this week, and my stomach's just a little bit upset about it. I think it's because the weather's been changing. Thank you, Jen. Jen said I can tell you're losing weight. Yes, you can. You know why? Because I'm fat in my face. Got one of the big old fat faces, like them big corn-fed girls. I have jowls. I was telling that to G the other day. I said, you might want to get you one of them vibration plates for when you get off the road, because, you tend to puff. She goes, excuse me? And I was like, I'm a friend. You get a little puffy, and you stay up past 11 o'clock at night. She goes, that's the meanest thing you have ever said to me. I said, I assure you it is not. When I first met her, she came up to me at a bar, and she had a hat on. And she said, I'm supposed to meet you. This was like 15 years ago. And I said, cool. I was drunk. That's why I don't drink anymore. And she goes, I'm Gretchen Wilson. I was like, no, you're not. She's not that old. And she took her hat off, and I went, you should have been using face creams. She hated me for a good solid 3 weeks, and then she figured out that that's just the way I am. It didn't matter who you are. She saw me say something similar to Trent Tomlinson about his new hair plugs. So at that point, she was like, oh, she's just an asshole to everybody. I'm like, yeah, I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I've been doing DEI for years. I want everybody to feel included in this ass whipping. Dare I leave anyone out? All right, here is your top 10 news stories in the U.S. President Trump announced sweeping new tariffs, including future tariffs on imported generic medications and expanded tariffs on Canadian goods. I almost said geese. We're not importing Canadian geese. Sarah, it's almost a 50% tariff. They might as well be buying weed recreationally across the state lines. That's how much taxes on the shit from Canada right now. Okay, the administration continues recording record immigration enforcement after June arrests top 43,000. 43,000. 43,000 arrests in the month of June. Okay. Tom Homan's wanting to at least hire, I think he said 10,000 more ICE agents. And they're talking about putting a detention center down in Gitmo. I'm like, I thought that was a detention center. What is down there if it's not a detention center? What are we doing? Can't we just get, another building at Gitmo? I thought that's what they already did, was detain people down there. We're building something. Anyway, I'm so confused about the way the world works sometimes. Congress questioned Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over the growing cost of military operations against Iran. Well, we ain't one to start a fight, but we will finish it. I'm more excited about the fact that they're making all the male military members test for testosterone to make sure they have plenty of testosterone, because you can't be fighting battles if you're wanting to hold and feel with them. Be like, they didn't mean to bomb us. They're just going through a hard time. No. Shoot first, ask questions later. That's why you joined the US of A military. So, just saying, make sure that they're eating enough blueberries and putting that stuff up under their arms if they're over 40. I'm just saying. Take them to a strip club before they go overseas. I don't know. Get that testosterone up. Take them to Hooters. Get them some wings and some boobies, and then put them on them. Did you just start laughing so hard that you had to hide your face? Girls, do something for our country. You're wearing pantyhose and socks and K-Swiss tennis shoes. The least you can do is just be like, good luck on your future endeavors. Get that testosterone up. Just saying. Stop doing that. Please stop doing that. You sound like Dylan. Like adding just sound effects to my shit right now. Federal officials froze over $1 billion in Medicaid funding to California and Minnesota during fraud investigations. George. A voter registration area in New Jersey mistakenly registered thousands of non-citizens. Did it accidentally register thousands of non-citizens? Did it, though? Did it? Because I have to show my ID to buy weed, and I have to show my ID to use my Kohl's cash, and I have to, now I do, because they know that I'm using somebody else's, but now I have to show my ID to literally buy hairspray at Sally Hair Supply, but we don't have to show it to vote for the people that are running shit. Okay, Jersey. Sneaky bastards. Okay. A federal judge paused the proposed Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger. Don't make that sound effect. That sounds like I did it. And everybody knows I don't have gas. I'm incapable of flatulence. It's the Southern way. So let me ask you something. The Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger, is that kind of like an Amazon, Disney World, Apple, Coca-Cola, Pepsi merger? Quit putting things together sometimes. I'm just saying. We all split off into our different camps years ago. There's no sense to try to build another Tower of Babel. That's all I'm saying. Okay. House Democrats opened another inquiry related to the Jeffrey Epstein documents. Was it why he's in Florida and going by South Beach Pete or whatever it is? They hollered his face. They hollered at him the other day, and he went, you know what that is? It's called the cocktail party effect. If you hear your name, you're going to look up. That's the cocktail party effect. Somebody could be across Walmart and go, Sarah, and I go, why would he answer to Jeffrey if that ain't his name? Inquiring minds want to know. See, you get it too. Stop putting soy in everything, and then testosterone levels will be higher. That's true, but then you're going to have a lot of menopausal women who will fight a running chainsaw without some soy sauce and some tofu. You got to quit. You got to quit. I'm trying to do stuff, and you're not the audio producer. You're just a heckler in my live audience tonight. I asked him to sit out here with me. I didn't think he was going to participate. Stop it. Stop. I mean, I'm going to take your phone away from you like a 5-year-old in the back seat. Stop it. God. Somebody want a husband? Barely used. He'll come and mow your grass. I'm just kidding. A double? No. Okay, if you honestly think that man... There's 3 things I know. 3 things that don't hang themselves. Christmas ornaments, air fresheners, and Jeffrey Epstein. So, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, if you think that mysterious footage just disappeared, he rolled out the body bag. Anybody see the A-Team? Hannibal took a suicide pill, woke up in the damn crematorium, and lit a cigar and freaked the little feller out. I watched it. That was 15 years ago. If they put it in the movies 15 years ago, that means they've been doing that shit for 40 years before that. Because that technology has to be declassified by the United States government in order for somebody else to use it in the medium of art. Huh. Learn a book. I'm going to throw you another loop, too. Charlie Kirk wasn't at his funeral. Helen Keller flew a plane, and Rosa chose a bus. Let's go down a rabbit hole sometime. I will blow your mind. All right, here we go. Arizona's upcoming primaries are becoming a major test of Trump's election strategy. Probably because Erica's from out there. He's probably like, just run out there real quick and tell all your constituents, since you was Miss America, Miss Arizona, just like, stuff's fixing to happen. We have a lot of problems with Arizona sometimes when it comes to politics and voting. I don't know why, but that seems to pop up on the news a lot. So, I don't know. Canada is preparing responses to the new U.S. tariffs after discussions between Prime Minister Carney and President Trump. Okay. Great. Okay, debate continues over expanded election security legislation ahead of the 2026 midterms. Y'all can keep talking about it, but until somebody does something about it, it really doesn't matter. We have another meeting to talk about the possibility of having a meeting to have a meeting to have another meeting to discuss the election meetings. And then we'll have an election. Sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. That's all I'm saying. In the world news, fighting between the U.S. and Iran intensified for a 10th consecutive night. Listen. I didn't want to get involved, but I think that I'm going to have to. Somebody put me on a plane over across the ocean to the sandbox and let me talk some sense into these heathens, because all I think we need is a cheese ball and maybe a gallon of sweet tea and just to have a little come to Jesus. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are them. So let's just praise the Lord, right arm. Just saying. All right. Iran reported attacks in and around the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting our shipments of oil again. Oh, thwarted again. Damn it. I know. It's just more of the same. It's literally same whore, different dress. Okay. So Yemen's Houthis announced Houthis. Anyway, they're in Yemen. Announced a blockade targeting Saudi shipping routes. Really? Now y'all gonna start some shit? We're already by land and by sea now? You gonna put a troll under a bridge? What's next? Stop it. Chinese and Philippine personnel clashed again in the South China Sea. Seems like they'd be more concerned about the big earthquake that hit them today rather than fighting against each other. Maybe that's what caused the earthquake, is the Lord's going, stop it! Quit it. Lebanon's president met with President Trump to discuss regional security. Well, he might as well. He's the only one that hadn't yet. Afghanistan rescue crews continue searching for flood survivors. That's something you don't hear every day in Afghanistan, the biggest sandbox in the world. Most people don't understand that there's 4 different climates in that one tiny country, and that's where it's the cradle of civilization. They're caught flooding right now. I know. Do I have COPD from smoking? No. Do you have a chip on your shoulder from judging somebody? You see how rude that is? Mind your own business. Stay on your porch. UN officials urged renewed diplomacy to prevent wider Middle East conflict. Good. Here comes the UN with their blue helmets telling everybody to get along. That's like a hall monitor in the middle of a high school fight. You're not going to do nothing but get your ass whooped. Anyway. The Black Sea attacks are raising concerns over global grain exports. Can everybody just get along? I know, Em. Some people can't keep their opinions to themselves, and that's why we make examples of them on the porch. If you don't like what I'm doing, scroll on. If you don't like the way that I'm smoking my cigarette that doesn't affect you, that I bought myself with my own hard-earned cash, scroll on. If you have something to say about my health, my well-being, scroll on. Unless you feed me, fuck me, or fund me, I ain't concerned. Business and economy tonight. Pharmaceutical companies are evaluating the impact of proposed U.S. drug tariffs. All right, more of the same. Sounds like. Oil prices remain elevated as Middle East conflict threatens shipping lanes. Hasbro shares received a boost from continued success of Magic the Gathering. I know, get really excited about that. OECD reported global supply chain trade reached record highs despite reshoring efforts, and Fairlife temporary halted operations following a ransomware attack. You're going to have a hard time with your milk. If you drink Fairlife, they had a ransomware attack, Coca-Cola. It's going to take a couple of days to get it straightened out. The London Stock Exchange continues exploring a 24-hour trading route. That seems, I don't like that at all. I don't like going 24 hours. Listen, you've got to rest. Even the Lord took a rest. Tabitha, that's right. Clean the porch. I love you guys so much. I don't even have to chase off the raccoons and possums. Y'all just do it. All right. Moving on, biotech acquisitions remain strong under looser regulatory conditions. Basically saying nothing in the Financial Times. Canada weighs economic responses to new U.S. tariffs. I don't know what to tell you, Canada. I mean, maybe you shouldn't pick a fight with us. Brent crude remains above recent averages due to conflict concerns, and global manufacturing continues adapting to geopolitical tensions. Basically, everybody's gone freaking nuts, and we're trying to figure out how to still get our goods and services from Amazon and Shell. If y'all get along, we can get our shit quicker. If you can't get along, it's going to take longer to get stuff. I'm just saying. All right, in science and technology, for those of us that keep up with it, scientists renewed debate over whether NASA's Viking mission may have overlooked evidence of life on Mars. I think that we should be more concerned if there's life in Washington, because so far they all seem dead from the waist up. So can we focus on finding intelligent life in the places that we already inhabit rather than a place that we're never going to be? Just can we all agree on that? Let's find intelligent life here, and then we'll go other places. Does that sound like a plan? Can we get NASA on board? Nobel laureates called for stronger global safeguards on artificial intelligence. Great. If y'all spend as much time working on your craft and working on your art and working on the things that make you intrinsically human rather than fight the things that aren't, you probably get more done. That's an old restaurant trick. You can either bitch about who's not closing and not cutting lemons and not rolling silverware, or you can just roll silverware and cut lemons and just go home. Too many chiefs not near enough Indians. Okay, China tightened export controls involving the advanced AI technology, and research continues studying climate impacts on global infrastructure. Oh, wonder what that means. That means it's been really hot and then really cold and then really hot and really cold, and then we turned off CERN, and then we started making clouds, and then we started controlling the weather, and then all the earthquakes started going off, and then a volcano went off, and then we just had nothing but flooding and fires all over the United States for no apparent reason. And we've been under 3 heat domes since the first of the summer. Huh. Yeah. It's probably right. Okay, researchers and are checking into AI regulation. It's remaining an international policy topic. Elon warned us about this. It's here. You can either coexist with it or you can pull the plug. That's what people aren't understanding. Pull the plug. Cut off the power source. If you cut the head off that snake, it won't bite you no more. There's a solution. Defense technology spending remains a congressional focus because we're fighting everybody that's big enough to step up to the plate right now. Probably going to need a little more money for it, just in my civilian opinion. Maritime surveillance technology is expanding amid regional conflicts. I'm not worried about maritime surveillance as much as I am about the flock cameras in Putnam County that the sheriff keeps lying about. Lying about. They're not on. Period. 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 Oh, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Listen, Bobby. They are on. I know that because I've seen them on. I've seen the infrared flash. I have seen them accept power from somewhere. And if you stand right underneath these flock cameras, it says, do you want to join this Wi-Fi network? Thought they wasn't on. Bobby. Seems like we're going to need a change of command in Putnam County soon. Liar, liar, pantalones en fuego. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So, in health news, proposed drug tariffs dominated healthcare policy discussions. We got the drugs. We need the drugs. They have the drugs. They're going to send us the drugs. We're going to charge them more to send them over here. Everybody understanding? All right. The UN data reported global hunger declined again, though progress remains uneven. We're feeding more people. We just got to get more food to them. Seems like. Heat continues affecting outdoor workers and athletes worldwide as we're under a heat dome and then rain and then more of a storm and then more heat dome. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. Let's see. Healthcare funding debates continue in Washington as we try to figure out where to send the money to, since everywhere that we've been sending it to is defrauding the government by billions of dollars. Seems like we should ask for ID for that, too. Anyway. A literary prize was awarded to a food delivery driver this week for poetry. Goes to show that you never know who's dashing. A viral photo of Lionel Messi holding baby Lamine Yamal will become a rare trading card. I don't know what that means, but congratulations. Summer movie attendance remains strong and music festivals continue to adapt to heat concerns. The sports collectibles market remains hot and major studios continue restructuring efforts after the mergers in Hollywood. In sports, Joey Logano captured his first NASCAR Cup victory of the season, so congratulations to Joey. The Boston Red Sox extended their winning streak to 14 games. Yankees defeated the Pirates after benches briefly cleared, and Tigers remain focused on keeping ace Tariq Skubal. Topps announced his special Messi Yamal trading card. Heat continues impacting outdoor sporting events worldwide. The World Cup organizers continue planning around climate concerns, and athlete safety measures remain a major focus amid extreme hot temperatures. Because of that reason, indoor competitions are gaining popularity. Summer sports calendars are increasing, being adjusted because of the heat. So you might be playing a little longer. Just stay out of the heat this week. So, just letting you know. All right, here's some porch talk that's a little fun. A teenager bought a jacket at Goodwill for $3 and sold it later for $89,000. Wouldn't you love to run into that deal at Goodwill? I mean, come on now. The world's tallest nutcracker was debuted in Minnesota this week. Russian prison guards reportedly caught a cat being used as a drug mule. The dogs will tell you where the drugs are. The cats apparently will deliver it. There you know. Sorry, we had to have a tea break. A Powerball-style lottery system is coming to the United Kingdom, so you can also join in the fun of all of us spending our hard-earned cash on Wednesdays and Saturdays for a chance of getting struck by lightning. A mystery confession solved a decades-old murder case, according to Newsweek this afternoon, and a United flight diverted to an Air Force base under unusual circumstances earlier today. The Acropolis briefly evacuated tourists after a frightening incident earlier, and one cruise ship is making headlines after repeated mysterious illnesses. Fashion critics say fashion slop is becoming the newest internet buzzword. I've been calling it fashion slop forever. Don't wear that. Just because they had it in your size don't mean you should have bought it. Just saying. It's things that I think about. Oh my goodness. It is so hot today. And then it got real rainy. So, just to see if there's anything else that we didn't talk about that doesn't matter. But anyway. We have 10 babies in the chicken coop in case anybody wanted to know. Tonight isn't about rushing. It's about landing. The world's been awful loud today. Between notifications and bills and politics and bad news and weather and opinions from people who couldn't pick you out of a lineup. This porch has always been a place where we can remember who we are. Take a breath. You made it through another Tuesday. And that's what counts. All the rest of the news will still be there tomorrow. Here is what matters tonight. Someone welcomed a new baby into the world today. Someone got to ring the bell after finishing a cancer treatment today. A farmer somewhere finally got the rain he's been praying for weeks. A little kid caught their very first fish today. Someone decided not to give up today. I think that's worth celebrating. Those stories usually don't make the evening news, but they're happening every single day. God is still moving in quiet places, you know. From around the farm, in case you want to know, I've been taking notes this afternoon. By this hour, the chickens have finally settled down. I don't hear no more peeps or gobbles from the coop. That's funny, ain't it? The birds that spend all day fussing over every single thing usually just take their heads under a wing and trust tomorrow will come anyway. There might be a sermon in that. I'm not sure. In my porch glow-up report, I haven't lost another pound on the scale, but apparently I'm losing my jaws in this turkey neck. So I'm just going to take a small victory. I did go get on that shake plate today at the Planet Fitness, and it shook my brains out. It's helping with my cellulite. I swear it is. I can't throw away tomorrow because of today. I've learned that. One meal doesn't ruin a diet. One missed walk does not erase weeks of effort. One bad day does not define your story. Progress, friends, isn't built by perfection. It's built by coming back. It's built by faithfulness. There's that word again. Again and again and again. It's the definition of faithfulness. For your feral Christian corner this evening, it is enough. One of my favorite moments in Scripture is when Elijah finally admitted that he was exhausted. He had stood against hundreds of prophets. He had watched fire literally fall from heaven above. He had seen miracle after miracle after miracle. And then he sat down under a juniper tree and said, Lord, I'm done. I'm tired. God didn't start with a lecture for Elijah. Remember that. He didn't say you need to pray harder. He didn't say you need to have more faith. He let Elijah sleep. And then he fed him. And then he let him sleep again. Only after he rested did God speak. Sometimes the most spiritual thing that you can do is just eat supper. Drink some water. Turn off your phone and go to bed. So, the scripture involved with that is from 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 7 in the King James Bible. Arise and eat. because the journey is too great for thee. God ministers to whole people, body, mind, and spirit. Can I tell you something that I've learned or been learning this week? Not every battle deserves your energy. Some arguments don't need winning. Some comments don't deserve answering, Sarah Beth. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. That's all their job is. It's just to not get you. And that's between them and God. You've got to protect your peace. Jesus didn't chase every critic, neither should you. So there's just a little bit of information for you. An Appalachian wisdom for this evening. My grandpa would have probably said, and I always called him Pap. Pap would have said, don't borrow tomorrow's trouble. Funny thing is, Jesus said the same thing. Take therefore no thought for the morrow. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Meaning that, let tomorrow take care of itself. You've got enough stuff to worry about today. Turns out mountain wisdom and kingdom wisdom often meet on the same front porch. So you know. I haven't felt good today. I tried to. Sean went and got his hair cut. It's short now. Sean Courtney, are you watching right now? You need to come show my people your haircut. He went short. I know. Hang on, let me tell him to come show people their haircut. He's probably in there on the phone. Come show them your haircut. So we did that, and I went to the tanning bed and the shake plate thing, the total body thing. And then we took off to Charleston, and he got his hair cut. And I ministered to a young man that was down on his luck and gave him a ride and visited for a minute. And then we went to Shoe Carnival, and I got my flip-flops on sale for half price. I know. It was a good day. Then we rushed home, and we got home just in time for the storm of the century to break, and all it did was make my garden wet and freak out my chickens. That we didn't get, thank goodness, the weather that everybody else did. But Mumfordville got slammed pretty hard. Garrison got slammed pretty hard. Kanawha got slammed pretty hard. This is a rough storm that's been blowing through the region the past day, so keep a weather eye out. We ain't out of it yet. Yeah, Shannon, he cut his hair. I know. I'm glad it's not going to be as hot for him. Thank you, Becky, for letting my part in the Gretchen video. She told me to come as myself, so I did. I even borrowed that chicken. That wasn't even my chicken. I acquired a chicken. I was telling him to come out here. He's just not got it yet. I'm like, now. I was like, just come on out. They don't care. They just want to see your hair. So, in case you didn't know, we are into the dog days of summer. Old-timers call this the dog days of summer, the stretch between early July and mid-August when the heat settles in so heavy that you feel like you're wearing your clothes instead of you. It's just, oh my gosh, it's like, it's terrible. They'll tell you things like, if the dew's still on the grass, leave the hay where it lays. If the katydids start singing before dark, folks figured tomorrow would be another scorcher. This is also canning season. Keep that in mind. Kitchen windows stayed fogged up from pressure canners. Green beans snapped into enamel bowls while stories got longer with every handful. Tomatoes became salsa in enough jars to get a family through the winter without botulism. There wasn't much wasted here in Appalachia. If you had extra, you shared with it. You gave it to your neighbor. If your neighbor's garden did better than yours, you got a sack of corn on your porch with no note attached to it at all. That's just how mountain people say I love you. We just take them beans and take them food and take them eggs and be like, here, I had more than I needed. A newspaper in Kansas recently shared a story about an 87-year-old man who still mows the lawn of several widows in his town every week, and he has for years. Isn't that fun? Still does it. When someone asked him why he still did it, he just shrugged and said, somebody mowed my mama's yard when my daddy died, and I'm just paying back a debt I'll never be able to prepay. Isn't that something? The world likes to keep score, don't it? Grace doesn't. Maybe that's what heaven looks like sometimes. Not grand gestures, just ordinary people quietly carrying on for one another, you know? So if you're wondering tonight whether those small acts of kindness matter, they do. They always have. So, one more porch thought for you. If you drove past an old farmhouse tonight, chances are you'd still find a porch light glowing. Not because anybody's expecting company, because somewhere deep in our bones we still believe someone might need to know that there's a way home. That's our job as Christians too, not to drag people home, just to leave the light on. So, that's what I know. We're tossing around some ideas for, somebody said let's do a Sarah Beth Terry convention. I got a lot of comments about it, matter of fact, a lot of messages. It's like, let's have a weekend, let's go junk. We're putting something together. There'll be an opportunity coming up soon where you can come to the I'm Sarah Beth Terry and You're Not weekend. One day I'll be Cigarette Mom, one day I'll be Fair Christian. We'll junk, we'll yard sale, we'll eat, we'll visit. That sounds like something that you'd be interested in. Then let me know, and we'll start planning it. Someone left cucumbers on your porch today. I'm so jealous. My cucumbers ain't done nothing. Nothing. So, I've had such fun, bitchy comments on my Bible study stuff. That's what's so funny. People said that my lantern was shady. No, it might be smoked up, but it ain't shady. If you would worry about your relationship with God as much as you worry about my relationship with God, we wouldn't be having this discussion now, would we? If you were as concerned about getting yourself right with Jesus instead of making sure that I am, you see the irony in that? You see the log in your own eye while you're picking out the sawdust in mine. Do you see it? Do you see it? I just want to make sure. Blows my mind sometimes. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Samantha said she'll travel. Heather said yes, it's every weekend. I think that'd be fun. Like, maybe have a swap meet. Like, you bring a truckload of stuff that you want to put in here. We'll just have the old community yard sale. We go swap shop. And then we could just go junk together and then maybe eat some lunch. And then maybe I'll do a concert that night. And then next day we all get up and have feral Christian Bible study and have dinner on the grounds and everybody go home. What do you think? Does that sound fun? I think it'd be a fun weekend. I can't get over what's trending this week. I haven't heard them talk about the Red Sox winning streak since I was in college. So that's pretty cool. The rare soccer card, I guess. The $3 thrift store jacket that got almost 90 grand online. I mean, what luck is that? So, remember, even though it's not going to be as hot this week, to make sure that your animals have water and shade. Just makes you worry. Been a long day. Between ripping and running and weather prepping and getting some new tennis shoes and Bible study planning and house projects and thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like a good day to get outside and enjoy my walk and soak up a little sunshine, I think. That's what I'm going to do. I think we'll get up pretty early and go just... The other day I got 8,000 steps in before lunchtime. I know. But if you are trying to keep up with us and come see us in real life, on Saturday we'll be at the 145 Roadhouse in Campton, Kentucky in the Red River Gorge. So make sure you come and see us. It's pretty exciting. Then on August the 1st, we're going to be in Inez, Kentucky at the Appalachian Artists Festival. I'm the headliner that evening at 8 p.m. There's music all day, but I'm at 8, so if you want to come. And then we're in Camden, Tennessee on August the 8th The 15th, we're back in Van Leer for a private party. The 22nd, we're in Sapphire, North Carolina. I don't have anything for Labor Day just yet. Then we're in Richmond, Kentucky the second week of September. We're in Hurricane, West Virginia the third week of September. Fourth week of September, I think I have a week off. And then going into October, we get ready to go to Florida, to Perry, Florida, for that show on the 17th. Anyway, but if you would be interested in doing a Sarah Beth Terry weekend, let me know, because I think that'd be fun. We should do it later in the fall. One, because we could wear our fur coats. And two, because it's the fall. And we're all going through our stuff from this summer and be like, I don't need to put this. I need to get rid of this before I put my Christmas tree up. Okay, let's do that. I think that sounds like a good plan. Amy's coming to the concert on Saturday. And there will be T-shirts available, so get really excited. Got new merch. Gonna go order some more tomorrow for the shows in August. I know, so excited. When are we having a weekend? I don't know, I just wanted to see what y'all thought about it first. And then we'll start planning it. Hang on, let me get him. Sean, darling. Everybody's wanting to see your haircut. Can you make an appearance? He didn't have his phone. It's out here on the porch. I've been texting him this whole time, and his phone's sitting here on the porch. So before we part ways for the evening, I do want you to see my husband's new haircut. Looks great. I would love to come to Beckley too, Jennifer. Book me a gig. Do you have any shows towards Pittsburgh? Not yet, Carrie, but find me a place to play. A place to sing, sleep, and smoke. I'm on the way. Crazy. Too many festivals involved. That's why I'm not having a festival. I just want to have a weekend where we can all just go, hand me a cigarette and hand me a piece of that cheese ball. Yes, Perry, Florida, October 17th, Trish. They want to see your new haircut. No, you have to come over here. We can't move.
Oh, okay.
Ah! It's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gone. So, no, you just left like that. You have to give them more than that. Oh, well, I didn't know you were feeding the dogs. My bad. If you don't feed the dogs at a certain time, then they go nuts. I think it'd be so much fun to see everybody in fur coats and house coats and hats and house shoes and come as I am in the Gretchen Wilson video. Just come on. I was supposed to go to the Destin Songwriters Festival, but they have decided to renege on their contract with me. So I'm not going to travel that far for no money. I can't afford it. Wish I could. That's almost 18 hours one way for me. I can't afford that for the price that they gave me. So, anyway, that's Sean's haircut. It's all gone. I'm so excited. That's what I know. Been really working today. Just, I know. Sometimes I just kind of get tired. But it's okay. I think I just need more carbs. I've been doing nothing but protein and fiber, so I just need to get me some more carbs. I know he looks like 10 years younger now. They're going to think I'm his mom. Every time. But he looks very handsome. He's always been the best looking man I've ever seen, but I like his hair short. So now it's off here to figure out if I'm going to eat anything before I go to bed or if I'm just going to crawl in the bathtub and read my Bible and then crawl under the covers. I'm about halfway through Hebrews right now. Tomorrow night is our Bible study instead of being on Thursday. So we will be on this porch at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the Bible study. So make sure you join us. Tell a friend. And share that post on my page that tells it's tomorrow night instead of Thursday. So, Carol, go to your Goodwill and look for one. Aaron, that's the same problem Sean had. And I was like, we're going to have to do something about this. He's getting too hot. So, last cigarette, and then I'm going to get off here. Excuse me. Brenda, send me information about it. That's what's going on in my neck of the woods this weekend. We're headed to Campton, Kentucky, and then I got to head to Nashville for a couple of days to work on some songwrites and go get my guitar because Mary Jane's finally ready. And then we come back and get ready for a week in Inez, and then we go back to Tennessee. So, praying for Janie's husband, who is at in St. Mary's. Pray for your hubby. Thank you, Jen. Welcome to the porch. Glad you're here for it. What you see is what you get. April, you have to watch replay. We just went over the news and talked about the day. Nothing major. Just visit on the porch. So, but that's what I know. I need to tomorrow get up and go to the tractor supply and get some more chicken feed. And I got to go to the post office. And I got to go on my walk tomorrow. So, I just don't feel very good, Heather. This weather has just made my sinuses just real wonky, and I've just felt like I've been kind of in a daze all day. It's just my sinuses are so full because of the weather that I'm just like. But Sean's like, you can go live, and I was like, I wouldn't because I don't feel good. But I've always been honest with you, and I'd rather talk to y'all. So. Your man got a cut from a very flirty lady. If you can't call 911 with 10 stab wounds, maybe flirt with your own husband. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to do hair with no hands. I'll cut him off at the wrist. When am I in Nashville? I'm swinging through on the 28th. I have a write that day, and I don't know if I'm going to do anything that evening or if we're going to head on home. And then we are going to be coming through the 7th and 8th of August on our way to Camden, Tennessee. And the Bible study is tomorrow night at 7. You'll have to watch the replay. I get it. Thursday night I've got meetings, and I didn't want to miss my Bible study with y'all, so we're going to do it on a different day. Yes, Carrie Ann, we will absolutely include our internationals. That'd be so fun. We'll just put up like a monitor and be like, tune in. Live. All day long. Elizabeth, we'll be praying for you. You'll get through it. God's got it. Just, if you're praying for me, just pray that I just feel better. My energy's just thwarted. It's just zapped. And I know it's probably just perimenopause, or maybe it's PMS. Maybe it's both. I don't know. But I just feel just blah. Hey, praise report from Mary Campbell on. God healed her brother from stage 4 colon and liver cancer. Great. God bless that child. Oh, that is so exciting. Praise report. Thank you, Lord. That's good news. I love that we pray for each other, that we talk to each other, that we reach out to each other. That's what it's for. That's what the porch is. So, who knows? Sometimes I go live at 2 in the morning with some fried green tomatoes. Sometimes I go live at 6 in the morning when I go on my walk. Sometimes I go live at 10 o'clock at night and talk about the news. I am taking my magnesium, Valerie. Thank you for telling me that, because I've been taking it every single day. I appreciate that. Been taking my B12 and my D3 and my magnesium and my multivitamin and my biotin and my collagen and my fiber. I'm even taking Metamucil gummies, which is only 5 grams of fiber when you need at least 30. I'm going to have to eat a whole box of shredded wheat. Which, did you know there's enough naturally occurring LSD and a box of shredded wheat that you can get a buzz? You'll shit your bed before that, but you might get a little buzz. Well, hello, Christian. From a feral Christian pastor. I love that. There's a lot of us. I was in the house. Hey, Mary Ellen. That moth ran right to my mouth. So, Melissa praying for you. She needs peace. Rita's going to carpool from Arkansas. Jean's going to be 44 next week. I know, sister. I'm looking 43 down the barrel, and I'm like, I don't like this. And did you know that if you have ADD, that you go through menopause quicker? Why? Well, not quicker, but sooner. I'm like, why? But why? So remember to pray for each other. If you watch the replay and you see a prayer request go up, just say a couple for who needs one, you know. The Lord's a great multitasker. He's an omnitasker. He can literally do everything at once. Heather's going to be 41 on Sunday. Happy birthday. Carrie Ann said, once you finish cougar puberty, you enter menopause and can get more animals. Oh, my husband will be so excited. I want an emu, but I don't have the land for it. The hot flashes, Jen. Let me tell you something. There's something at the Dollar Tree right now. It's called 1-2 Menopause. It's in a little purple and white bottle. And it's got 1 step, 2 steps, and one's a cream and one's a spray. And it's got like tea tree oil in it. And if I have a hot flash, I spray that on my feet and on the back of my neck. And I'm like, it's the best money I've ever spent for 5 quarters. So check out your Dollar Tree. You might find some too. Aaron, that's true. And I don't know why everybody is so crazy about Captain Crunch. It tears the roof of my mouth all to pieces. Might as well be eating a razor blade. So, all right, friends. Well, I'm going to go into the studio soon to put up some new music. I'm working on a new project. I'm working on a new book. I'm working on a new cookbook. I'm working on a new festival that we're putting together. It's a lot coming up. So if anybody wants to be boots on the ground and help us spread the SBT word and be fan club presidents or, send out mailers or, recruit, invite your friends, we'd love to have you. This is a group effort. So, happy birthday to April. Going to be 39 on Friday. Robin, you had 2 emos show up. That would just make my whole life if that happened. Melanie had to change clothes. Listen, there's a reason why Granny lived in them house dresses. I'm telling you, get you some of them cheap Walmart Pearl Snap dusters. You'll thank me later. So, that's all I know from my side of the porch this segment. Whatever you're doing, do it with gusto. Remember to keep your Bibles up and your powder dry and your head on swivel because people are acting crazy. Be nice to all people, animals, and children. And try to love your neighbor if you can't give it to God because he loves you and I do too. And we'll both see you right here on the porch tomorrow. Until we see each other again, remember, friends, that I love you. I'm glad that you're here. Share me with your friends. Book me in your neck of the woods. Holler. I'm not that hard to get a hold of. But in the meantime, remember, I'm Sarah Beth Terry. You're not. Bye.